Hi guys. Sorry, I am just waiting here. Thanks. So I've shared a few things on my Instagram and I'm just here to tell you something really quick. This has been going on for like 2 years, okay? And I have really been silenced and I've been just following my attorneys, and law enforcement's recommendations to ignore it and to just catalog everything, save everything, the like. And I'm bringing this up because when I came forward a couple days ago and basically just said, like, yes, Creepshow Art made these horrible videos about me and she used my stalkers, which is true. The stalker account started spamming all of my accounts. They started making all of these fake YouTube accounts. They started making all these fake Instagram accounts, and they're all saying the same thing. You're as bad as Shannon. Shannon did the right thing. Shannon had everything right about you. Everyone knows that you're a liar. Everyone knows that you're a terrible human being. She didn't get anything wrong. And the reason why they're saying that is because Shannon used them as a source. So before she actually deleted her Twitter, what happened was this. So she made her very first video about me, and I noticed that on Twitter, she was literally interacting with people that were actively doxing and harassing me. One Twitter account in particular had been doxing, harassing, stalking me for I think a year and a half at that point. And when I called her out in a video and basically said, like, you used sources that have been actively doxing me, posting my photo, you used a Reddit that literally published my address, photos of my neighbors next door, published a photo of my house with my address visible, published like my phone number. Even if the admins of that Reddit removed it, it was there. This is also the same Reddit that actively finds ways to harass me on a daily basis, and they claim that they are on a mission to prove that I'm a hypocrite and a liar. Even when I shared what she was doing on LOL Cow, they accused me of stalking her. I don't know if Shannon is involved in this, to be honest. I don't know. What I do know is that Shannon got involved with these people, and that's why I've been so outspoken about it. And people want to silence me, and they want to say that I'm trying to steal this moment from like Emily Artful. I'm not. I think what happened to Emily is terrible, but I think that I think what she did to Emily is terrible, but I think Creepshow did this to a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of victims out there. And just because people don't like me doesn't give her a right to work with my stalkers to create content as hit pieces to take me down. So I've been getting all of these messages from these accounts basically saying, like, you are not, everything is right. This video is right. And if you go to her videos about me, she actually if you go to her videos about me, she references this Twitter account that's like a parody account. This parody account was actually created by my stalker. And we've known the source of this account for years. And unfortunately, that account, I believe, has finally been taken down by Twitter, but it doesn't matter because they recreate a new account every time one is taken down. And they're always blocked by me, but they pass out information and claim that they have all of the sources of everything I've done to people. And it's all just a bunch of nonsense. It's like me changing my mind about something, They say I'm hypocritical. They say I'm doing these terrible things, whatever. But if I was really doing these terrible things, some of this would stick. And it hasn't. None of it sticks. I've never been charged with crimes. I've never been ever, because I'm not doing the things that they say I'm doing. And what I do know is that when she made her first video about me, she got really angry at me. She had been getting angry at me, and she accused me of like stalking her effectively. She basically said that I was really being persistent and trying to collaborate with her. I literally sent her 2 total emails, and it was like one in the fall and then one a year later. So if 2 emails is being persistent, I don't know what that is. And then there was a day when she was trying to defend Gabby Hanna, claiming that she had been shadow banned, and she was in a conversation with Deaf Noodles, and I could see the direction she was going down, and I thought they were going down a road that would get them completely destroyed online. And I was trying to tell them, like, you know, this is like not a path you should go down. If you think she's being shadow banned, literally you're gonna get your ass chewed, because it's not true. And then she accused me literally of being a stalker. And then she said and so that's when it started. And then she started like going on all these different channels and, you know, talking to people. She got involved with all these hate channels that make videos about me. And I saw her like interacting with all of these hate accounts that were like, that have been stalking and harassing me. And there were so many tweets between her and these people, and she literally was using them as sources for her hit pieces on me and referencing them. You can go to her videos and you can see the links for what she was using. She referenced the Twitter, the Twitter and the subreddit. The subreddit was also developed and created by my stalker. So, and by stalker, I mean like there's this group of people. It's like, I don't even know. It's like 5 or 6 people that do this together, and they've got a lot of people now that they've brought into it, but it was an original group, and it's run by this same group of people. And there's like a few people that direct all of it. So when I called her out for that in a video, which I ended up having to take down because I got so much harassment for it. No, I'm not covering this because Emily Baker is live. I don't even watch Emily Baker. Like literally, how would I know? I'm sharing this because this is my experience. Why is it that every time I do something, you guys accuse me of this? This is what I'm talking about. This person, KJ's Stretched Hyman, is a troll, and it's one of my stalkers. This is what I'm saying. KJ's Stretched Hyman, literally one of my stalkers. So, and then that's what they do. This is why you see me get so upset in my Instagrams, because they create these accounts, my stalkers do, and then they accuse me of doing things. And then they make me look crazy by doing it. So anyways, long story short, she used these I don't know why the usernames are disgusting, but she used all of these as sources and basically started interacting with them. And then she started going from creator to creator to creator to like spread this information. So she was the first one to create all the stuff where she like accused me of calling this girl a brat, which I have repeated this story so many times. I was in a chat, I was reading a comment where the person said that, and then I responded to their comment. I should not have read their comment out loud. I should have just responded to the question, and I apologized for reading the comment out loud. But I also spoke to the girl's mom like days later and apologized directly to her. And the woman and the mom literally like said it wasn't a big deal, and she understood that like the way it looked made people question what was happening. So the mother forgave me in the situation. And for the record, that child was not sexually abused. The child was actually coached. His ex-wife just got a restraining order against, so his wife at the time that was taking this girl to all the doctor's appointments is divorcing him because he cheated on her with mods from Facebook. He's apparently under investigation for fraud. And the dad it was proven, I guess, in court that he coached the little girl and she was never a victim of any of this. So it's just the stupid thing. And it's like, if that's the worst thing I said, why is that like the thing that you're holding over my head? Like, why are you so dedicated to, you called this girl a brat or whatever? Like, you realize there's so many other things out there that could be so much worse. And it's not, I mean, my God, people say worse things every day. Should I have read the comment? No. And I haven't done anything like that. But that's literally, yeah. And they did so much work and they determined the little girl was coached. So, which is horrible. And I said that to begin with. In my opinion, the dad's a monster. But anyways, so for people that are asking me to quit my job, my YouTube paycheck is not small at all. This is a very healthy channel that makes good money, that supports my family, and I will not be quitting my job. So I'm not going to stop my job because people online are cyberbullies. That's like the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard. Do you realize this happens to so many people? So many people. Millions, I mean, influencers get this kind of stuff all the time. And if we stopped our jobs because there's assholes online, you're giving them what they want. And when you have a lucrative job that makes you very good money, why would you quit your job? It makes no sense. That would be like, I'm getting bullied at work, so I'm going to quit. No. You find out who your bullies are and you hold them accountable, right? It's like Taylor Swift has gone to I'm not comparing myself to Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift has had to go to, court for her stalkers. So many people get stalked. And even if I wasn't a public figure, I could still become the victim of a stalker. And my mental health is actually very fine. And I want you to know, like, I'm not like emotionally upset by these threats because I get them so frequently. I don't get scared by them anymore. I know the FBI is investigating. I know that my attorney is working on this. I know that the opposing counsel from my lawsuit is working on this. So everything is in the right hands. I'm not personally scared because, to me, I believe these are just emails created to make me feel scared. We have a security system. We have cameras. I'm not concerned about my safety. So, yeah, and this is not bullying. It's a felony. It is a felony to send these kinds of threats online. So my reason for sharing this was not, I'm trying to steal this from Emily. This was something that was going on in tandem to what Emily was going through. And I only brought up in relation to Creepshow because she became associated with these people. She used them as a source. And when I called her out, literally called her out, I said, you used a group of people that have doxed, harassed, stalked me, that have called the police on me, that have swatted me, that have called CPS on me. You're using them as a source. You're giving them credibility and validity. And once she made her video with all of the stuff in it, that's when every channel copied the same claims. People say it had to do with the lawsuit. It didn't, because what she had in her video was very minimal to the lawsuit. It was more like things she didn't like about me that the stalkers gave to her. And that's where so much of this idea that I've done all these things. So when I called her out, then suddenly she accused me of doxing her, and she accused my fans of doxing her and stalking her, which is not true. She also accused me of passing out her address, which I didn't do. And when I went to Twitter to go get screen grabs of her interacting with them, she deactivated her Twitter. So her Twitter, and then she blamed my fans for a reason why she had to delete her Twitter. So she deleted her Twitter when she knew that I believe, would have evidence of her interacting with these people. It's no different than why she deleted her Instagram right before Emily made her video about her. Like, Emily was making her video and she probably knew that there was those DMs in there and she wanted to delete any evidence. But you can't get rid of the DMs even if you delete the Instagram. With Emily Baker's coverage, she wasn't using this kind of stuff. It wasn't the same way. Like, Emily's stuff was harmful to me, but Emily Baker wasn't trolling. Like, I may not have agreed with Emily Baker and how she covered me, but Emily Baker was not using sources of trolls for information, right? She wasn't. So, no, Emily was not doing the same thing. And Creepshow was interacting with every single channel and going to every single channel that was covering me because she wanted to make sure that the narrative remained the same about me. The police showed up at my house 3 times, I think, during the, well, I wouldn't say swatted, but I mean, it could have theoretically been swatted because, like, they're coming, doing a check on you, and it's based on false things that can put you in a really precarious situation. I don't know if it's swatting or what you would call it. Like, okay, it wasn't swatting. I don't know what you would call it. I mean, we had 3 officers here and 2 cars, and I live in a small community. I'm sorry. I misspoke, Lulu. I misspoke. Can you please forgive me? I am so emotionally drained right now. Can you please forgive me for saying the wrong thing? Either way, there was police at my house for false reports. When a police shows up at your house for accusations of abuse and neglect, and they say that you're going to be harmed, that can lead to a lot of different things, and it can put the person who is on the other side of the door at risk. No matter if it's a SWAT team or if it's 4 officers or 3 officers. Okay, so Lulu, why don't you go back to Reddit? Because I'm sure that's why you're here. You're probably stalking me from the Reddit. Because only people that stalk me from Reddit and these accounts care about my inconsistencies. So, if you're worried about the semantics of it, I apologized. It wasn't swatting. It was 3 officers that showed up at my door. I've seen that Lulu person. All that person does ever is do negative things. I'm sure they're connected to these people. But anyways, during that time, we had officers come here multiple times. Someone filed a 7-page report. No, they didn't just come for that Pods P. They actually came for abuse multiple times. And no, my stalkers weren't worried about me. My stalkers were the ones that pushed me to the point of feeling suicidal. my stalkers are the ones that got me to that point, and then my stalkers, because they know my address, called the cops. They admitted to doing it. So you can't play a game where you're concerned about someone 1 minute, or you're harassing and stalking someone 1 minute, and then when that person's pushed to their limit and they say they're not feeling good about something, then call the cops and wanting a welfare check. There was no reason to do a welfare check that night because I have a husband that's literally in my room with me, that's in this house with me. There's another adult here all the time. There's no, if I would have needed to go somewhere, he would have taken me, right? So the reason they pushed me to that point, they knew it was because of what they were doing. And then when they get me to that point, they used the police to harass me and veil it under a welfare check, knowing full well I have a husband and it's an unnecessary call. And that wasn't even the worst of it. Like, the first call was fine. I wasn't upset with the first call, but then they came back and they came back even when I wasn't posting anything online about any of that, right? Then they filed a 7-page report with the county over from me, and they claimed that I was abusing my child. They also filed a report with CPS in my area, and CPS showed up at my house. So then the cops had to come and check in to see if I was abusing my son, and on a separate occasion, CPS showed up for the same reason. Okay, this person is also a troll. Okay, listen, you guys, I am so sorry if you are like, I am so sorry. Everything I'm saying right now is making you upset. You're saying, well, my parent, I'm so sorry, Julie, that your mother committed suicide. And I'm so sorry to anyone that has lost anyone by suicide. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to diminish that someone could do something or some life could be taken, but I'm speaking about my situation right now, okay? And I'm really sorry for all of you that have gone through this, and I'm not trying to diminish or say that because my husband was here that I couldn't have done it if I wanted to. I'm just simply saying there was an adult here that was fully aware of what was going on, and that was with me the whole time. So if he would have been concerned, he would have taken me somewhere. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying that he would help me if he could. I'm not trying to diminish any of your situations. Again, I am sorry. I am so sorry if you have lost someone to suicide. My husband was my rock during this time, but using the police in there in that way is wrong. But that wasn't just the time. Like I said, that was just one incident. Then it was all the incidents for abuse, filing a 7-page report, calling CPS, So all I'm doing is just sharing with you what I'm going through. I'm sorry if it's drama. I'm sorry if it's upsetting. Honestly, when all this stuff came out about Creepshow Art, it just triggered all of this. And I'm still dealing with it. I'm totally fine. But this is the frustrating part, is when I do try to share, people nitpick and they try to say that I'm being insincere, or they're trying to find some sort of hypocrisy. They're not actually listening to listen. They're listening to criticize. And if you're not here to listen and you're only here to listen to criticize, you're like, what's the point? You know, why would you bother listening to me sharing if you just want to criticize, right? It doesn't make sense. And when I'm speaking for myself, I'm only speaking for myself. Only. I'm not speaking for anyone else. I don't like to talk about this stuff. I hate it. My child has been brought into this so many times. I have had hundreds of death threats directed at him. Okay? What I shared with you this morning is mild by comparison of what I've received. There are so many. I have a folder of hundreds of these. And I'm glad that you watch my videos for my content. I appreciate that. I'm definitely not going to quit my job. And I'm not going to live my life in fear. What I am going to do is work to hold these people accountable. And I don't think Creepshow Art was like the original source at all. I think she got involved with these people. And I think she had no problem getting involved with these kinds of people because this is the kind of stuff she does. So if you are used to behaving this way online, you will have no problem interacting with people like this online. And that's why I've said, like, if you're engaging on these anonymous boards, you're actually creating a very unhealthy space, not only for yourself, but for the people that you're targeting, which is why I don't use these anonymous boards ever anymore. Like, I used to use them for various sources, but, you know, it's not, if Reddit is being used as a tool to harass people, to stalk people, like, or a lol cow or whatever it is, like, anonymous, if you're in a board dedicated to hating, harassing, and stalking, it really says that what's going on in your life? What is going on in your life? You can't hold someone accountable, though. You can. If they're doing illegal things, you can hold them legally accountable. That's why I'm sharing. Are you here just to troll Pods P? I'm allowing them to get to me. I'm just wondering if you're here to troll. I'm saying I can't allow someone to be accountable with, like, I don't like what someone said online. I'm talking about holding them legally accountable. Anyways, I can hold them accountable legally. They can literally be arrested for cyber stalking and for harassment, and it's a felony, and it's actually a federal crime. Death threats are also a federal crime if they're done so electronically, and they can be prosecuted as a felony. So these people are committing felonies. That's way different than me not liking what someone says on their channel. You know what I mean? So how can you help? Don't engage with these sources. If you're in these Reddits and you're a part of this, don't. They're using my name on that Reddit and on Facebook to harass me. And there is an open investigation with the FBI. So this is not like anything that is new. All I'm sharing is what I've gotten today, and I'm going to go back to my job and do my work and create my content. I'm not here to have drama. This isn't me having drama with anyone else. This is honestly, like, I'm just trying to share with you what's going on. I know you love my content, but part of my content is me. And that means sometimes I share what's happening to me. And given that she was doing this stuff to Emily and she was actively involved with my stalkers, you know, I hope other people share their stories. I'm not trying to diminish what Emily went through, because what Emily went through is horrible, terrible. But if she did it to Emily, she did it to a lot of people, a lot. And I think when I watched Emily's video, I realized that she learned so much by what she was doing to Emily of how to do it to other people. And that's sad. Like, I feel like Emily was probably one of her first victims and longest victims. And Emily even said in her video, like, when she was not harassing her as much, Emily just figured that it was because she was harassing someone else online. And that's true. Like, if she had other targets. And you can look at her channel and see that she targeted so many different people. And a lot of them were just off baseless, gossipy claims that meant nothing, you know? I don't know. Yeah, Peaches was a victim of hers. To an extent, you guys, I know people don't like Lily Jean, but to an extent, Lily Jean was a victim of Creepshow art as well. Because the things that she was consistently accusing Lily of doing, she was adding so much hate to this girl. And somebody had asked me like a very long time ago to do something about the Lily Jean story. And I declined because she was a minor. I think she was like 16 years old at the time. And I was like, I'm not going to go after a 16-year-old about having fake accounts on Instagram. Like, if that's her worst crime, who cares? Like, there are so many people that buy their subscribers or their followers. I don't do it, but there's lots of people that do. And if that's the worst thing she's doing, like, what's the point of like harassing a 16-year-old? Like, I wasn't going to do that. I'm not a fan of that girl. But did any of them really help the situation by, I'm not saying I defended the girl, and I'm not saying I defended her mother. I'm just saying in general, like, did it help the situation by targeting and harassing her? No, it didn't. It didn't help the situation at all. It actually gave the girl more exposure, which is what she wanted to begin with, which is counterproductive, which is again why I didn't cover it. I don't know how to buy subscribers. I've never done it, so don't ask me. You can lose your entire channel if you do that. I would never. Like, there's literally an agreement on YouTube that if you buy subscribers or views or likes, they can kick you out of the partner program. And I actually there was a message today, and they're scrubbing out spam accounts today. And that's all you do. Like, I think when these people buy the accounts, they're just buying spam accounts. So I've never understood why you would buy fake followers, because they don't even interact or engage. I've never bought subs. I've done some advertising as a way to spend some money of my revenue, which I think is smart. Like, a lot of channels advertise. But beyond that, I've never like outright purchased anything. That's like against the terms of service, and I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm very like play by the rules when it comes to stuff like that. You can lose your whole channel if you do that. You can lose everything. You can lose your platforms on every platform if you do that. So at the end of the day, I'm not upset today. I just wanted to share with you what's going on and just say that, like, if you're involved in this, like, please do better. If you are a creator that's engaging with these people, please do better. If you're running, if everything that I do is a means to, like, paint me as a villain, please do better. Like, sometimes I sit here and I think, are there people out there that will never give me a break? You know what I mean? Like, if you're constantly making content that's hateful and mean, it's just it's going to direct the wrong kinds of people to your channels. Like, and if you have a kid that's, you know, involved in this kind of stuff, please know that, like, these Anon boards are dangerous. So that's all I've got for right now. I will save this. If you guys, any of you channels that are recording this, I was told yesterday that a new channel popped up that's reposting all of my Instagram lives. If you continue to keep reposting these lives, I'm going to have find a way to get it all taken down. I don't like issuing strikes. I don't do that at all anymore. So if you're reposting my Instagram lives in their entirety, please don't. I don't want to have to issue strikes. I don't like doing that. Just don't. I hope you understand. Thanks, guys. Bye.